Mahatma Gandhi or Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was such a man who could have earned a laud by the profession of law, but he made freedom of the country the motto of his life. He defeated the world's most powerful, the British force. September 1888, the day 19-year-old Mohandas was to start his journey to England. Father Karamchand Gandhi had already died, and Mother Putlibai was not happy with his decision. She had heard that youngsters fall for bad habits. They start drinking and eat non-vegetarian food. Mohandas understood his mother's worry and placed.
Mother, I place that I will not take any wrong step. I will not drink alcohol, only eat vegetarian food and stay away from bad company. Just permit me to go.
Mother allowed him with a happy heart. Mother was Mohandas' inspiration. He got the idea of fasting and non-violence from her and started Satyagraha.
I will follow the path of truth with determination. Any number of problems may surround me, but I will not leave the path of truth.
In those days, children were married at very young age. Monya or Mohandas was just 13 when he got married to Kasturba. He was very thin and could not even speak English. While travelling to England, there were only two Hindi-speaking people in the ship, Monya and lawyer from Rajkot, Majumdar. Even he was going to England to be a lawyer. Mohandas stuck to the pledge that he had made to his mother.
Listen, brother. A lawyer should be a good orator. You are going to be a barrister. And in this profession, one has to speak much. I understand, English is not your mother tongue. But you must speak without any hesitation. And don't bother about mistakes.
When another British traveller came to know that Mohandas is vegetarian and does not even drink, he was surprised and said,
"Oh, really? Oh, you don't know. The climate is warm only near the port. After the Bay of Biscay, the climate is chilling cold. One cannot survive without meat and drinks."
Mohandas thanked him for his advice. When the ship reached the Bay of Biscay, it was chilling cold, and Mohandas braved it. He had only 4 reference letters. One was from Mr. Pran Mehta, who reached Southampton to receive Mohandas. While talking to him, Mohandas took his hat. Then the doctor himself explained him.
Here the culture is very different from India. You should not touch others' belongings without asking them. Speaking loudly is considered uncultured.
Mohandas listened to him carefully and followed his advice. To understand English culture, he read books, got new clothes stitched, bought a hat, got a haircut, learned to tie a tie. He even learned French, dancing and violin. In a few days, he felt it was all useless, and he thought,
I have come here to get education. Why I am learning the culture? I should leave it.
And the time passed quickly. It was year 1891, and Mohandas got the degree for barristership. He stayed there for 3 years, and that very day he left for India. He reached Mumbai port, where his brothers were waiting for him. He started looking for his mother. When he asked, he got to know that his mother had passed away. He was hugely shocked after hearing the news of his mother's death. Mohandas started his practice at Rajkot and started earning 300 rupees per month, but he was not happy. One day, a businessman from Porbandar, Dada Abdullah, sent him a message to fight a case in South Africa and called him. Mohandas left for South Africa. He was wearing the traditional Gujarati dress and looked different from the people. There, Abdullah received him and took him to his house. During this time, he realized one thing.
People do not have any respect for Indians, though they are rich and educated.
Sayyid Abdullah took Gandhi to show court of Durban. There, he introduced him to many people. In the courtroom, a judge looked at Gandhi from head to toe and asked him to take off his turban. Gandhi did not like it and left the courtroom. From this incident onwards, his struggle against the white government of South Africa started. After a week, he left for Pretoria. For this, he took a first-class train ticket. His train reached Natal, the capital of Maritzburg, at 9 o'clock in the night. Here, at this junction, the passengers were given beddings, and at this time, a passenger entered his cabin and was surprised to see him in first-class cabin. After looking at him for some time, he left the cabin and returned with 2 railway employees.
Hey, why don't you sit in some other cabin? You will have to sit in the last cabin. You go, please.
Mohandas was not ready to leave his seat. Railway employees ordered a sepoy to hold his hand and push him out of the cabin.
It's better that I leave the case and go back to India, rather than getting insulted over here. But people will think I am coward. No, I should not do this. I should stay here and fight against apartheid. I will fight against the white government.
Gandhiji won the case of Sayyid Abdullah in 1894. Gandhiji was about to come back to India when somebody gave him a copy of newspaper titled Natal Mercury, in which there was a news stating that Natal government is planning to ban the right of Indians to vote. For this, they had already presented a bill. Migrants requested Gandhiji in one voice to postpone his departure. They told him that the government wanted to remove them by the root, and this should be stopped.
Yes,
this should be a stop. This should be a stop. And Gandhiji took up the challenge. In the meantime, Gandhiji, along with his wife and 2 sons, went to Natal. The news of his arrival reached Natal. This news was also sent to the captain of the ship.
The wives of Natals are angry. It is advisable that Superintendent Mr. Titam should take Mr. Gandhi and his family under his protection.
Hardly after half an hour, Seth Abdullah's British lawyer, Lauren, came and proposed Gandhiji to take under his protection. Captain and Gandhiji agreed to his proposal. Kasturba and her two sons were sent to set Rustam in a big wagon, and Gandhiji went with Lauren. On the way, white boys recognized Gandhiji and stopped him. One of them removed his turban and the other punched him. He tried to hold him fence, but the boys kept on hitting.
Hit him! Hit him! You're an insult! Hit him!
But he didn't.
Hit him!
Just then, Mr. Tatam's wife recognized Gandhiji being hit by boys. She covered him with her umbrella. By this time, the police arrived and Gandhiji was safely taken to Rustam's place. As it grew dark, Britishers encircled Rustam's house. They wanted to burn Gandhiji and his family alive. On advice of Superintendent Alexander, Gandhiji disguised as Indian sepoy and quietly left the place, though he was suffering from backache. Alexander told the mob,
Hey, your prey was quietly disguised and went away without you coming to know.
After this incident, his area of work continuously kept increasing. The house in which he stayed, he witnessed people from all religion and caste. He took them as part of his family. This experiment encouraged him to open an ashram in Phoenix. Gandhiji returned to India after Boer War. At that time, All India Congress session was going on. Pandit Gopal Krishan Gokhale was very much aware of Gandhiji's efforts. Gandhiji also joined the session. After a few days, he received a telegram from British Prime Minister.
Please come to South Africa, or I myself will come to take you.
Gandhiji quickly left for South Africa. He saw Indians were being tortured there, so he decided to help Indian migrants in Johannesburg. He started Satyagraha for the rights of Indians. He was sent to jail. He thought that British government would be very happy after his success and they would leave India. But just after that, the British government gave Indians a gift of Jallianwala Bagh. On seeing the tortures on the Indian people, Gandhiji requested everybody to join him in non-cooperation movement, which was aimed to stop using foreign clothes and goods. At many places, people started burning clothes. People started burning them at every nook and corner.
Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram! Foreign dictatorship will not be tolerated! Foreign dictatorship will not be tolerated!
Vande Mataram! Vande
Mataram!
People realized that on the basis of truth, non-violence and non-cooperation, they can throw the Britishers out of India without using weapons. People got inspired and started using khadi. People left the personal differences of untouchability and religion and wholeheartedly participated in the movement. During this time, Prince of Wales visited India, and wherever he visited, he was shown black flags. All his welcome ceremonies were boycotted. After this incident, the British government became aggressive.
Bharat Mata Ki!
Yes, buddy!
Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki!
British government declared many Congress volunteers as culprits and arrested them and punished them. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was also one of them. The volunteers of non-cooperative movement tolerated the brutality of British police. By February 1922, the whole movement, peaceful movement, turned into a violent movement. Protesters put police station of Chora Chori on fire. In this fire, half a dozen of police personnel got burnt alive. This incident shook Gandhiji and he decided to stop non-cooperation movement. After this, lots of leaders, including Gandhiji, were put in jail. When he got released, there was a piece of news waiting for him. Due to government's misdeeds in Gujarat, there was lot of terror, fear and unrest among Indians. Officers who were collecting tax started mortgaging the animals of farmers. Gandhiji immediately reached Gujarat and met Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Both of them requested the collector to stop this inhuman torture.
Those farmers who are in sound financial condition can pay the tax and others can be exempted.
Everybody was hopeful of British government's departure. At this time, Britishers sent Simon Commission to India. It was headed by famous lawyer Sir John Simon. People were aware that the commission will not work in their favor and everybody boycotted it.
Simon, go back! Simon, go back! Simon, go back! Simon, go back! Simon, go back!
The aim of Simon Commission was to judge the ability of Indians to take over the administration of the country. Lala Lajpat Rai was boycotting it in Lahore. People marched with anti-Simon slogans. It was under the guidance of Lalaji. The British police superintendent Sanders ordered lathi charge. Simon, go back!
Simon,
Go back!
Simon,
Go back!
Simon, Simon,
Go back! Lala Lajpat Rai was badly hurt in lathi charge and he passed away after a few days. When Bhagat Singh came to know about it, he shot Sanders. The youngsters of Punjab got agitated. Gandhiji was saddened by Lalaji's demise. At Calcutta session, all Congress leaders unanimously appealed the government to give India right to govern. If it fails in 1 year, then the only aim of Indians will be to get freedom. For this, they were ready to go to any extent. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was made the president of Congress. Gandhiji met Lord Irwin with his proposal, but he did not show any interest.
No, Mr. Gandhi. No.
Lord Irwin said that Indians are not capable of it, so India may remain as a colony. The failure of Gandhi-Irwin Pact forced the nation for total independence. The educated young lot of India did not believe in begging. They wanted to fight till the end. In this context, on the banks of Ravi, on 26 January 1929, in the Congress session, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru hoisted the tricolour flag.
Our aim should be total independence. For this, we will put an exemplary action.
26 January was decided as Independence Day. People were ready to face the British government in all odds. Suddenly, the British government announced the tax on salt, and this made Gandhiji furious and agitated. To stop this, he left disobedience movement and started Dandi March.
भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय.
Gandhiji started march with 76 people. After 24 days, when he reached the banks of Dandi, there were thousands of people. He made salt. Police arrested him for breaking the law, and Indian jails were filled with innocent freedom fighters.
Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram!
After this, British government tried divide and rule policy. Ramsay and MacDonald gave separate rights for election. Gandhiji decided to sit on fasting till death. As the days passed, government started retreating. Finally, government agreed, and Gandhiji gave up the fasting. After coming out from the jail, he started working for Harijans. Harijan ashrams were built at many places. In 1939, England waged a war against Germany and Italy against Japan. Viceroy, without consulting anybody, declared that India is with Britain.
Total freedom will be considered only after end of the war.
British government, without any reason, involved India in the war. Gandhiji moved very intelligently. Congress decided not to give any help to government. Instead, they started civil disobedience this time. This time their slogan was,
No money, no man.
No money, no man!
it meant that no funds will be raised for the war and no Indian will participate. Civil disobedience spread in whole India. 120,000 people were detained and punished. Men and women were hurt.
Vande
Mataram!
Vande
Mataram!
Bharat Mata ki
Jai!
Bharat Mata ki
Jai!
Bharat Mata ki
Jai!
Bharat Mata ki!
Jai!
Bharat Mata ki!
Jai!
Bharat Mata ki!
Vande
Mataram!
Vande
Mataram!
Gandhiji wanted that Indians should disobey British administration and should behave with them as independent citizens of the country. He gave a slogan,
Keep in mind that we have to get freedom through non-violence. Do or die. This is our final war for freedom. Each and every Indian is a soldier and would fight till his last breath. We have to fight and win it.
Before Bharat Chodo Andolan could be started, Gandhiji and his supporters were arrested before the sunrise on 9th of August 1942. He was kept in Aga Khan jail. Prominent Congress leaders were also arrested. Whole nation had united in its fight for freedom, but there was no one to show them the path. Indians put government buildings on fire, took off railway tracks, hoisted tricolor flag on government buildings. British government took help of the forces to set up its dominance. Bharat Chodo Andolan had made way for freedom, which was progressing. Britishers had understood that agitation had reached its peak, which could turn worse at any time, and it was set them thinking. Gandhiji was on fast till death because Viceroy held him and Congress responsible for violent incidents. He fell ill and was released from jail. In the meantime, new Viceroy, Lord Webble, came, and he tried the policy of divide and rule between Hindus and Muslims. Communal violence spread in the country. Gandhiji started his foot march to stop communal riots. His supporters stopped him from going to Muslim-dominated areas, but he said,
If my death can stop the communal rights, I would be happy.
Communal rights had created unrest in people. In year 1947, in the month of March, Lord Mountbatten came to India as new viceroy. He favored freedom of Indians. Mountbatten talked to Prime Minister Attlee and made a plan named Mountbatten Plan. Under this plan, it was proposed that a part of India will be named Pakistan and made a separate nation. Gandhiji and Congress opposed it as they wanted a united country, but the leader of Muslim League, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, liked this idea, and because of Congress's opposition, the communal rights increased.
Let him not speak. Hey!
No! Please!
Kill her! It appeared as if the whole nation was on fire. Congress wanted to save India, so they had to agree to Mountbatten's plan. Plan was passed, but Gandhiji opposed it and said,
Pakistan will be made on my dead body.
as the proposal got approval of majority, so Congress committee passed it. India was divided and Pakistan was built. 15th August 1947 was a joyous day for Indians. Delhi was decorated as new bride. There was happiness all around. But Gandhiji was in Calcutta, consoling the widows of victims of communal rights. On 15th August, Gandhiji fasted and told the Congress leaders,
You are wearing a crown full of thorns. Getting freedom from Britishers was not as difficult. But now it's only going to be difficult and difficult.
While division, everybody thought that Muslims who wanted to settle in Pakistan would go there, and Hindus who wanted to come to India would sell their property and settle in India. But all guesses proved wrong. Communal rights broke up and 5 lakh lives were lost. 1 crore people were rendered homeless and they had to resettle at new places.
Have we struggled for this freedom? Have the brave soldiers led their lives for this freedom?
Gandhiji announced again his fasting till death to stop the riots. It affected the people and riots stopped in 5 days. But some people felt that he was responsible for the division of the nation and plotted to kill him. When Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel came to know of this, he advised Gandhiji against going to prayer meetings. But Gandhiji did not pay any heed to his advice. 30th January 1948, Friday. Like any other day, people gathered for prayer meeting at Birla Bhavan in Delhi. They were all looking at the door through Gandhiji had to arrive. It was 5:25 in the evening. They were all waiting for Gandhiji to come. When Gandhiji entered with his 2 granddaughters, Manu and Abha. Just then a man went to Gandhiji, folded his hands and wished him, and quickly took out his revolver and shot Gandhiji in chest.
Hey Ram.
3 bullets pierced his body. His killer was caught immediately, but the damage had already been done. The news of Gandhiji's death spread like fire. United Nations kept the flags down, and Jawaharlal Nehru said,
Friends,
we have lost the light of our life. The light which used to enlighten our way has gone. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, who was also known as the father of the nation, is no longer among us. He got India freedom. That immortal light will light our way for years to come.
Pandit Nehru had said the truth. Even today, Gandhiji is guiding not only India but the whole world. Cruel hands of destiny snatched him from us, but it will not be able to snatch the way he had shown us.